blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen.
Thank you, Paula. Good morning. And welcome to Unity in the Heart of St. Paul, a vibrant spiritual community inspiring personal transformation. My name is Reverend Ray Nelson. I'm the spiritual leader for this blessed community, and we are so happy to have you joining with us today. If you're at home watching us online, we welcome you as well, knowing that we are all connected through that one presence, that one power. And I hope you had a great Christmas and that you're preparing for a blessed and better than ever New Year. Our music team today, or our worship team today, is Paula Lammers. Our music director will be leading our congregational songs and will also provide our special music. And she will be accompanied by Mary Copit on piano. Jay Lammers is on the soundboard, and we give special thanks to Greg Iden, our soundboard manager, for his continued help as he comes in and helps set up the place before he leaves and does his holiday show. We give thanks to Cheryl Fairbanks, who is our technology coordinator, handling our technology issues at home during the service, and our platform assistant is Faye Nelson. And let us go ahead and open in prayer. So let us begin by just centering ourselves in this now moment. Let us take a breath and center ourselves here and now. We connect with that divine presence within and without, connecting with ourselves and with those around us. As we are open and receptive to the living Spirit of truth, we are open to divine guidance, inspiration to guide us through life's many blessings and challenges. On this blessed day, this foggy day on December, we are blessed to be able to be here together in community, worshiping a God of our understanding and being able to come together and worship how we choose. We do know that there's a lot of people suffering in the world right now from conditions of the world, whatever they may be. So we use that divine power of our imagination and we surround and fold them in that divine light, that divine love, that compassion, that wisdom of the divine, of God, guiding them, supporting them, uplifting them as they move through these life challenges. On this, a day of release, a day of renunciation, we prepare ourselves for what is to come. We reflect on our year and the many blessings, the many challenges, and we use that power of discernment to determine what is it we need to let go of now, leaving that space for that ever expansive presence of God to guide us into ever deeper understanding and awareness of that presence. And so with open hearts and open minds, we come together and say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. And our first song there, Miss Paula.
Good morning, everybody.
I invite you to stand and join me in singing song number 6, Let Go and Let God. Some days I do, some days I don't, some days I will, some days I won't, some days I sink, some days I float, some days I get real smart and live by this quote. Let go and let God, let go and let God, let go and let God be in charge and let my worries go. Let go and let God, let go and let God, let go and let God be in charge and let my worries go. Some days I do, some days I don't, some days I will, some days I won't, some days I sink, some days I float, some days I get real smart and live by this quote. Let go and let God, let go and let God, let go and let God be in charge and let my worries go. Let go and let God, let go and let God, let go and let God be in charge and let my worries go. Let go and let God be in charge and let my worries go.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Faye and I am the platformer for today. For announcements, Wednesday, New Year's Day, we will have story time, 7 o'clock via Zoom. You can access that through our calendar. And then next Sunday is the White Stone ceremony here. Any other announcements? We will now recite our affirmation of faith. Together, there's one and only one presence and power active in my life and in the universe, the all-loving and wise Spirit of God. Let us also recite our vision statement for unity in the heart. Led by Spirit, we recognize God within everyone as we co-create infinite love, peace, and abundance in our global community. The daily word for today is pray for others. In prayer, I know the truth about others. I feel honored when someone asks for my support in prayer. My heart and mind join with theirs as I hold thoughts that affirm the truth about them, their divinity. I pray they know they are created in the image of God, that the qualities of life, love, and wisdom are part of their spiritual inheritance. As I pray, I see their divine qualities expressing. I envision divine life flowing through them and divine love comforting them and harmonizing their relationships. I see them whole and well, loved and loving, prosperous and secure. As I pray, I focus on the spiritual truth and trust that the divine presence is the answer to every prayer. What should I do then? I will pray with the Spirit, but I will pray with the mind also. I will sing praise with the Spirit, but I will sing praise with the mind also. 1 Corinthians 14:15. And now we'll have our second congregational song.
Our second song is found on page 44, and please stand. Everything I see, everything I do is blessed by your I'll give it back to you. Everything I give, every thought that's true, is graced by your hand, O Lord. I'll give it back to you. Everything I love, every moment too, is just another chance, oh Lord, to give it back to you.
The Unity movement was founded on prayer. We would now like to focus our attention on our prayer needs today. Please take a moment to bring to mind any prayers that you may have. Your prayer may be a prayer of joy or gratitude, a prayer of concern for yourself or another, or anything that is close to your heart right now. Now let us pray together. Our loving God, we know that all prayers are answered in the perfect way and time. Our hearts and minds are filled with divine spirit as we feel the presence and power of God working through us. We affirm the highest good in all situations. For those present, please place your prayer notes in the basket at offering time. We will hold them in prayer at Unity in the Heart for 30 days and also send them to Silent Unity for additional prayer. Also, anyone may send a prayer request to our prayer chaplains at unityintheheart@gmail.com. And now we'll have our first selection from Paula.
It's all about allowing peace within, in absolute surrender, so serenity begins. For when the storm subsided and calm becomes a wave, it's all about allowing it to stay. It's all about allowing love to flow. It's setting down your burden and just simply letting go. For as you cease to struggle and love pours through your heart, it's all about allowing it to start. Now feel it warm and shining new with promise, strong undying love, different from any you have known. And now thy seed is sown. It's all about allowing change to show. than living in the moment like it's all you'll ever know. And though it won't be easy, you can truly say you tried. For it's all about allowing it inside. And now the seed is sown. It's all about allowing love to flow. It's setting down your burden and just simply letting go. For as you cease to struggle and love pours through your heart, it was all about allowing. All about allowing it to start.
Thank you, Paula. Well, good morning again and welcome. Today is our annual Burning Bowl. I'm going to call it a ritual rather than a ceremony. It's our annual Burning Bowl ritual, and it is probably, if not the most, it is one of the most popular and anticipated rituals that Unity does. And it focuses on the idea of renunciation or release, letting go, letting God. We don't do a lot of rituals in Unity, partly because Charles Fillmore didn't think they were necessary, that the work is all inner work and that we could just do the inner work. But rituals are a way to connect communities together, but they're also a way to focus our attention. So in some ways, I think this is a great ritual at the end of the year to release the past year and anything that no longer serves you. Now, a ritual is a series of actions or a ceremony that is performed in a set way, and it's often either a religious, a sacred, or in a social setting. And rituals are found everywhere, and some churches are much more focused on the rituals. Some of the indigenous communities have many. When I was down in Guatemala, the Mayans have a ritual every day. It's a ritual to keep the universe in balance. They don't believe dark and light are good and bad. They think they're the two sides of the same coin, but that sometimes the dark will overwhelm the light. And so their rituals keep the universe in balance. Good for the Mayans. A ritual can involve symbolic actions, involve words, can involve gestures, can involve objects. Today's, we're going to have many of those. We're going to have an object, we're going to have words, and we're going to have actions. So, and in Unity, the difference between Unity and the New Thought communities is we don't believe the ritual has any power. Doesn't have any power over you. If you think communion, say in the Orthodox churches like Catholics, Lutherans, the act of communion has power. It has power to heal, release, whatever their language is, or the ritual of forgiveness in confession, has power to release you from that power. In unity, we don't think any of that's true. The ritual is an outward act symbolizing what's going on within us. The power lies in your intention and your commitment to what you are participating in. So I will tell you, burning bowl is a ritual of release. And you could write your memoir on flash paper and we could burn it today. And you could release everything from your past and you would be perfect, whole, and complete, which you already are. And then as soon as you burn that, you could take it all back and there's nothing to stop you. It doesn't do anything to you. It's all based in you, your intention, and your commitment to following through on what you released. Now, we can release anything in our mind. We can release, Charles Fillmore would say, we're always releasing our thoughts, those thoughts that no longer work. But we can release thoughts, we can release beliefs, we can release ways of doing things, we can release ways of being. It's kind of a more structured way than writing our end of the year, what do they call that? Resolution for what we're going to do the next year. We may release a thought of unforgiveness that we have for somebody. We may release thoughts of anger or judgment or sadness. And we do this to create new opportunities and also create new challenges, enabling us to grow and manifest our true spiritual nature. When we release that which is no longer there, we have created a vacuum in which something else must come in, and that will create opportunities and new challenges because it's something new for you. Charles Fillmore said, renunciation is the letting go of all thoughts in order that new thoughts may find a place in consciousness. A healthy state of mind is attained when the thinker willingly lets go of old thoughts and takes on the new. If you remember, this is basically, for those who are gardeners, this is preparing the soil for something new to come in. If you remember the parable of the sower, he sowed his seeds and some fell on hard ground and did not take root and was eaten by the birds. And some fell in the bushes and the brambles cut off its source and they didn't thrive. And some fell on good ground and they burst forth. So this is preparing the soil of your mind to plant good new thoughts that can burst forth in your life and take root. And you know what? This can be terrifying. I know change is easy for many of you. Change, in many cases, it's never easy for us and for those around us. When we let go of something, especially a long-held belief, and something new comes in, this creates an entire new reality for not just us, but the world to live in relationship with us. Oftentimes, for those of us in the addiction world, everybody wants the alcoholic or the addict to change, to give it up. The problem is when they give it up, they're no longer that person. They're a completely different person. They've transformed into somebody new that you don't know. You don't know how to deal with. You were used to a certain behavior sets. You didn't like it. You wanted it to change, but you don't know what to do with the other. And oftentimes there becomes that dissonance in families. Or for those of us, I'm going to use the Catholics just because I knew a lot of them down in Louisville and even in here, is when you get somebody who's the Catholic faith oftentimes goes back not just in the family, generations. deal with somebody who's Irish Catholic. It goes back almost millennium, the Catholic, and they decide that the Catholic faith no longer works for them. That completely, well, if nothing else, it befuddles the entire community, but oftentimes breaks families apart. And so in the past, we know what to expect. We know how to respond. We know how things are supposed to be. And so it's easy to want to go back to something or stay in something that we're familiar with. Just easier to stay with the way things are than it is to change. Or conversely, to long for something that was in the past that didn't really exist. It's that longing, oh, if we could only go back to the 50s. Life was so much easier then. And I've said this before. Anybody old enough to have to dive under desks in the nuclear, drills? Even in first grade, I knew that was silly, but didn't want to create too many problems. It wasn't simpler, and it's always simpler in our mind's eye because we only remember what was good. We never remember the negative. So we're like the trapeze artist who's hanging on to that trapeze. And today we release and renunciate that trapeze. But guess what? We haven't grabbed anything yet. And we're in that never land. It's much easier to just grab hold of that trapeze back here, just hang on. And this is true no matter how much pain the past or the present might be causing you, or how much it limits your opportunities. So we take seriously this renunciation. We let go of those things, knowing and trusting in that divine presence is with us, guiding us, strengthening us, uplifting us through it all. And you can't claim the new until you let go of something old. No one puts new wine into an old wineskin. The wine will burst the skin and the wine is lost. But one puts new wine, new ideas into a new consciousness. And the psychologist Abraham Maslow said, you will either step forward into growth, letting go of what no longer works, stepping into what is available, or you will step backwards into safety. Now, one thing I like to be clear of in the burning bowl is we're releasing the past. We're releasing ideas and beliefs. That doesn't make them bad. We have a tendency when we're moving forward to want to negate what was. What was good. It got you where you're at. Whether they be past thoughts, past traditions, ways of being, they weren't necessarily bad. They just no longer work. They served our needs in the moment, and they helped us in our development to get us to the place where we have the consciousness and the idea to be able to let it go. We live, we learn, and we grow from our past, but then we release it and let the past be in the past. I think it was a line from the Daily Word a couple of years ago that says, you can remember the past, just don't try to live there. Don't pitch a condominium and start roasting weenies in your yard. So today, during a time of meditation, which is coming up in a little bit, time of meditation, prayer, and conscious reflection, we will review the past year, but review our lives. Hopefully you've been doing that all along. It's a great thing to do. And we'll use our little piece of paper, our flash paper. And then we will make a list on that flash paper, and we will come forth and we will burn it. We will release it into the fire. And we will burn away those burdens and those thoughts, those resentments, those anchors, that baggage that we may be carrying. We release what no longer serves, and reflect on who we are becoming. So we use that power of discernment and what is going to serve our highest needs, which will continue on next week. But we don't necessarily throw out everything. We don't release everything. We don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. You can just change the bathwater. So think about what it is you want to release, and it's not necessarily releasing everything. I oftentimes hear, and these have all been Catholics. I'm a recovering Catholic, as if there's something that they needed to recover from, rather than I'm releasing the Catholic faith, but keeping many of the traditions, which are quite amazing as I work with the Benedictines. And I will encourage you to make this an ongoing practice rather than wait for a year. If something comes up on January 2nd, don't put it in a notebook and hold on to it until next December. So you can do this all the time. Charles Fillmore again said, one should learn to let go of thoughts, conditions, and substances in consciousness, body, and affairs when they've served their purpose and one no longer needs them. So we're going to turn to a time of meditation, and there's going to be an extended period of quiet. Paula will play background during that quiet to create just a space. So in that, I just invite you to, and I'll lead you into it, and then reflect on what is no longer serving you now and what would you like to release. And then on your paper, write a note. You can draw a picture, anything that symbolizes it. Obviously, this little piece of paper is you're not going to write your life story. So what you're going to do is you're going to write a word or two that symbolizes those things that you want to release. So don't push it, don't press. Like I said, this can be done throughout the entire year. If you really like the burning bowl part, you can go to a magic shop and buy a pack of magic paper, and you can do it every day when you go to bed at night, release everything and burn a little piece of paper. But during the meditations, you'll search your mind for what you want to release. And when you're ready, you will write it down. What I'd like you to do when you're complete, just raise your hand and let me know you're done, and then sit quietly and hold the rest of the congregation in prayer. Just hold that silent place for them to finish what they need to do. If you're at home, you can do the same thing. You don't have flash paper, but you can write it on a little piece of paper. Go outside and light it because you don't want to set off your fire alarm if there's any smoke. But you can do the same thing at home. And so we're going to turn to a time of meditation now, and this may take a little bit of time. So just relax.
In the moment, all is still. God's presence is so real. Angels whisper words of peace. Cares are gone, fears released. Breathing out, breathing in. Every breath is love. Breathing out, breathing in. Like the sigh of a dove, as each day is done, my heart will know that I am one with the one.
So I invite you now to get comfortable. If you need to move around on your chair a little bit, if you're at home, if you need to set something aside, and we give ourselves the permission to just step apart from all that's going on around us. We breathe easily, breathing in, breathing out. Relaxing our shoulders, relaxing our bodies. We breathe in, we breathe out. And then that peacefulness, that calmness that comes with the breath. We turn our attention from the outer world to the inner realm, the realm of spirit. As we close the door in our inner mind to the outer world, we prepare now for a time of quiet reflection. We ask that inward presence of the divine. What no longer serves my highest good? What do I need to release this day? Who am I becoming? And what is a barrier to that becoming? So we just ask those questions, or whatever question comes to mind that guides you in that deep reflection of that inner consciousness of your mind. We turn to a time of stillness and we listen. We listen with the ears of our heart, that inner knowing, that inner wisdom in which we know what we hear is the truth. So as we ask that question one more time, what do I need to release today? We turn to that inner time of quiet and reflection. Excuse me, is everyone complete primarily? If you're still working on it, it's okay. All right, what I'm going to invite you to do is, and I'm going to make this easy, just come to the side on this side and come up. You can line up, but one at a time. Take the tong. There is a candle in here, and you don't have to do much. You just have to touch it. And it's magic paper. It flames without heat, so it won't burn. It won't do anything. So just whoever'd like to start. So thank you for participating and the willingness to create a space for something new to come into your life. All I can say is we love you, we bless you, we behold the living presence of God expressing as you.
I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I am all I need now. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I have all I need. I allow, I receive, I accept, I believe that I am all I need now.
Thank you, Reverend Ray. Now is the time when we acknowledge that all we have to us comes from God, our source. With our gifts, we express our openness to give and receive and our gratitude for God's generous supply.
My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes.
Let's join together in our affirmation for gifts, which is printed in your bulletin. Together, divine love and wisdom flowing through me, bless and multiply all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. Unity in the Heart is a tithing community, so I am including our tithe to Keystone Community Services. Let's join together in the blessing of our gifts. With grateful hearts, we bless our gifts and say, "Thank you, God, for the abundant blessings we enjoy." We release our gifts as they go out into the world, expressing God's unlimited love, abundance, and supply. For those who wish to contribute electronically, if you're watching live on the screen in front of you, you will see a QR code in the upper left corner of the video. Scan to donate during the service, or after the service, you will find a donate button on our webpage. Also, you may mail your contributions to Unity in the Heart, 1898 Eaglehart Avenue, St. Paul, Minnesota 55104. And now we'll have our second selection from Paula.
There is sadness, there is angst and aching. Don't try to embrace it, embrace it. There is beauty, there is joy. Don't try to retain it, radiate it. We see the pieces and we forget that there is a wholeness. That's what we are. There is anger, there is anxiety. Don't try to erase it, embrace it. There is laughter, there is love. Don't try to retain it, radiate it. We see the pieces and we forget that there is a wholeness. That's what we are. There is jealousy, there is loneliness. Don't try to erase it, embrace it. There is compassion, there is peace. Don't try to retain it, radiate it. We see the pieces and we forget that there is a wholeness that we are. Embrace it, radiate it, embrace it.
Thank you, Paula. All right, well, thank you all for participating in the ritual. I would invite you all then to prepare for next week, which is our white stone. You created a vacuum. Now we don't need to do anything. We have the opportunity next week to create that new vision of what we are guided for the next year. I love the white stone. That's personally my favorite. And a side note is the stones we will be using actually are mined at the Dead Sea, and the company out of Kansas City actually orders them specifically for the white stone ceremony for us. So with that, everybody rise, and we will do our peace song followed by the prayer for protection.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a safe week. God bless. Happy New Year.